Okay, so let's get this started. Oh, I wanted to show you how the necklace hangs. So this is one of the completed necklaces. What I did with this necklace was use 3 different colored stones that are dyed, and then wrap those, and then went ahead and created the necklace part, and then hung the pendants. Oh, and then what I did too, though, for time's sake, I'm going to add one of these metal wire wrapped beads on the agate slice. And what I did is went ahead and already wrapped one just for the sake of time. So this one we're going to use, and it'll be one of the decorations on this agate piece. So let's go ahead and get that started. So what I generally do is I take the wire and I bend it. And the reason why I'm bending it like this is so that I can create a base. So I bend it, and I want to make sure I'm bending it far enough to where I can bring it back around to fold over the agate piece. So in this case, we only have 2 pieces. I can create 3, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the 2. And then here with this agate piece, there is a hole. So this is a holed agate. So what I'll do is I'll wrap the wire first, and then I'll come back and I'll create the little attachment here where we can hang the necklace part, the beaded part, just through here. So we'll do this. Kind of want to straighten this out. Put a little heat by stretching it. And then you want to fold it as flat as you want to fold it. So then what I'm going to do, I want to make sure this is straight. So then what I'm going to do is take the agate piece with the hole at the top and lay it. Lay the agate slice. And then I want to begin to fold the wire on top. And it'll be a little fussy in the beginning, but that's okay. So this will be, either way, it could be your back or your front. It just depends on the design. So this one, we'll fold this down a little bit more. Fold this upward, and then we'll fold this across. And then what I want to do is smash it. And I always like to use my pliers to squeeze, because it creates friction on the wire, and you can actually see the imprint. So we'll fold this part up. We'll do this down. And it's always fussy when you start. So we have, if you notice, I left a piece out, and I'm going to fold that over. And I actually didn't leave a long enough piece out here, but that's fine, because what I'm going to do is bring this piece down. Actually, what I'll do is this first, because it gets fussy. So we'll take this around and we'll wrap it, and we'll wrap, and then we'll bring it down here to bring it back up across here. So now that's more sturdy. Then what I'm going to do is take the wire that's out, and I want to fold this. So I'll use my my pliers just a little bit, because I don't want to damage the wire. Pull this over, and then I'm going to take this in, and I want to fold it under that wire. because what happens is that becomes the base that gives support for that piece. So let me lift this up a little. And that way I can get that little small piece right up under there. And it seems it's fussy sometimes. Anytime you're if you're a jewelry maker, you know what I mean. It's a little difficult sometimes. So I got the piece, and then what I want to do with this is I want to be able to wrap it as many times as I can. But before I do that, I want to be sure to pull it through as much as I can so it'll be nice and sturdy. So I got that. And then I'll fold it under again. And then I want to fold it, flatten it out just a little bit. And see what that did was create a loop. And then what happens is, as I begin to go, what I'll do is to make it even more snug, I'll take my pliers and I'll kind of create a design like this here. And then what that does, it makes it more snug. So as we go, you'll see we still have this wire. And then what I'll do with this wire is I'll take it and I'll bend it over and then through this part. So then that way that is secure. Both wires are secure. So and I'll pull this through here. And it's a struggle because you're trying to get it to where you want it to be secure. And see, that's secure, but what I'm going to do is continue to wrap the wire through all the other wire. We'll even take this part and then tuck it here and then take it down, and then we'll bring it up just so to be secure, and then we'll wrap that around that part. And that makes that very secure. And you want to make sure not to leave any parts where when someone puts on the necklace and it lays against their chest, you want to make sure there's nothing poking or stabbing. So we got that part, but what I'm going to do is I want more wire, and see already that's secure, but I want to make it a little bit more secure. So what I'm going to do is add more wire. And that wire will be, and you see what I'm doing, I'm just kind of taking it and that tightens it every time I twist. So the front, this will be the front. I like the way that looks already. And this part right here, if you see, it looks a little sluggish. It's not very secure at all. So what I'm going to do is take another piece of wire, and what I'll probably do is thread it through here, here, and here, and then bring it back up here. And the thing with that is, that's why you want to make sure there's no nothing that's sticking the person that purchases the piece. And it doesn't feel chunky on the chest at all either. So we got that hid, and we want to do one more piece of wire so we can thread this part, so we can make this bottom part snug. And we'll take another small piece and we'll go ahead and cut it. And I never do measurements, maybe because I've been doing it so long to where I don't really need to do measurements. And by all means, if when you begin, or if you're already doing it, if you use measurements, you know, it's all about the way you do what you do. So I'll put this wire here, and I'll fold it over, and then I'll bring it down, and then I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to fold it under here so that I can have it secure. And it's all about just kind of wrapping it, tucking. It's almost like wrap, tuck, wrap, tuck. So we got that, and then we'll bring it back up. And of course it'll look crazy in the beginning because you're trying to get it to where, and I'll tuck it up here too. So then that way that'll be snug right there. And then we have this little wire here. But then we can take this wire across this way and take it under here in the front. If we can, yeah, we'll take it under the front. And it's all about just kind of figuring out how the wire wants to go. So in this case, we'll pull it through. As long as all this is secure. So this will be secure in the back. And then what I can do, because I have this much wire left in the front, I can begin to, because everything is snug. So what I can do is I can take this pre-wrapped metal piece and thread it. If it'll let me. See if we can, oh, we got this band right. Let's do this. So we'll take this metal piece that I threaded earlier and slip that on. And this will be on the front. And see, to me, that's already pretty. And then what I'll do is I'll take this and then I'll take it around the back, right? And then I'll wrap it under that part. That's already pretty. So then I'm going to come back and thread with small beads. So let's get this part finished. We'll see where we can tuck it, and we should be able to tuck it right under here, creating like a loop. And some of this you might not be able to see because of the angle of the camera, and I apologize for that, but this is actually my very first video. So what I want to do is take it under, and I got it under. So now what I want to do is take this piece, which is a sticky piece, and fold it completely under. Then that way when it's warm, you don't feel it on your chest. So that's how we did that, right? And then what I want to do, whatever pieces, that already looks pretty. So whatever pieces or beads that I use for the front, they'll be small, and I want to just kind of thread in the front. I don't want to take any more in the back, but if I have to, that's fine. And again, it lays pretty well on the chest. And if you see that, that's already pretty. And then what I want to do is take some of that same wire, and before I begin to bead, I want to create where we can hang. So I generally will take wire and I'll fold it up. And you want to pinch it, fold down, and then you want to begin to wrap it. You want to wrap it so you can create your hoop. Be sure to get it all at the bottom. And that'll be pretty much your hoop for, and then you may even need to, so I'll take all this across. And then at some point you may even need to, as you're wiring down here, you may even need to use something, a little area up here to secure your threading. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then we'll see if we can tuck it, which I think we can right up in here. And if I can't tuck it, I'll just cut some of the wire off. And if I'm not talking enough for you, I apologize for that, because again, this is my first video. So I'm really kind of getting the hang of talking and creating at the same time. And see, for me, this is already a beautiful piece. So, and think about it, if it had the necklace part on it already, you can kind of see how pretty that would be. Even if you took it and did it with this piece, you can see how beautiful that would be already. But what I'm going to do is take this piece, I think I want to clip just a little bit of it off. So we'll do that. And you want to be careful when you cut that off, because these little small pieces have a tendency to fly. So I'm going to take this piece and I'll tuck it inside of here. Nice and hidden away. And you probably can't see this because of my hand, but all I'm doing is just tucking it. So what I did is just tucked it as far down as I can get it. And then I have this little piece right here that I'll try to get this tucked away in here. Because again, you don't want to leave any sharp edges or anything for people to maybe get poked or... Okay, so that's how we do that. And that's basically a pendant. But what I want to do and what I like to do is, I have some beads that I might want to add on here just to give it a nicer look. So let's try that. I'm going to thread a couple beads on here. So what I'm going to do is get more wire. And what I'll do is I'll take the coconut shell bead, I'll thread it. Let's see, maybe I'll put it here at the top. And then what happens with that is I have to fold. And then make sure you bend the wire up. And I think I'll try it above here and then see how that works. Actually, let me take the wire under. And then that'll be there. And then I can take the wire around this way so I can bead something at the bottom. But then I also want to be sure to take this wire and thread it over here. So I'll thread it and I'll pull that. So what happens with that is that becomes tucked. And you can see here where it's wrapped around the wire. And then I can actually put something on this wire and lay it flat here. But let's see, I think I want to take this small bead and then I'll put that one here. And again, you got to kind of fold or bend the wire where you want that bead to go. So I'll do it right here. And then I'll take the wire back around, right? And then I'll bring it up. And then I think what I want to do is, let me see, I think I can take it under here. if it'll let me, maybe here. And it's pretty much wherever the wire will allow you to thread it. Try not to force. Now see, it allowed me to wire here, but I wanted to wire the first one, but there wasn't enough room, so I went ahead and did the second one, which is fine. And if I have another bead, let's try another small one and see how that looks. I think I kind of like these beads right here too. And then what I'll do with this one, I think what I'll do with this wire is I'll go ahead and finish, I'll wrap it, and then I'll begin wiring with the other. So I'll take the wire under, wrap it, and then we'll do it one more time. So I'll cut a portion off, and be careful when you clip because the wire does like to fly. So we'll tuck that one more time, and you're basically creating a loop around the wire so to be secure. So that's that, and then I can take it one more time. And that makes it snug. And everything is soft. You don't feel anything pointing, sticking, anything. It's just wrapped. And then we created our little hoop here for the necklace to hang. And this is basically our pendant. So I want to take this wire, and because I like these beads, let's see how this bead will look. We can actually take this bead. Yeah, that's a beautiful bead. I like that. And let's see, with all the different colors on this side, the stone. So we'll take that and fold it, actually bend the wire. So I'm going to take it and see if it'll allow me to tuck it, and it will. It will allow me to tuck it here. And then bring it through. And I only want to take it through right there. And be careful not to twist the wire too much, because if you twist it too much, it'll break on. It'll break. Okay, so we twisted that on there, and then that's there. And you can pretty much see already what it's going to look like. And can you imagine once we get one of the this is a beautiful piece right here too. So once we get one of the necklaces on it, you can imagine what it would look like. So let's try, how about one of the gold beads? We'll try one of these little gold colored pearls, and we'll put that on there. And it's and see, to me that looks very rich. When you start adding like bright yellows and gold tones and different variations of a color, it just looks very rich. Let me see if I can find another bead that I might want to incorporate. No, that takes away from it. How about this one? That's not a bad color. No, I don't want to try the green either. How about the brown? Doesn't look bad. Let's try this with the brown wood bead, just to give it an idea. That's not bad. I like that. So we'll do this, and then what we'll do is when we create the actual necklace, we'll just be sure to add maybe some the bigger wooden beads to create the necklace. So for this, I kind of like this like it is, and I might add one more something right here. Let me see. So I'll thread it up this way, only because it will allow me to do so. And you don't never want to force a thread. So if you see an opening where it will allow you to thread, then thread it. So that allowed me to thread, and I think I can put a piece right here. And it's almost like stitching, like if you've ever done patchwork and sewed something. Let's see if this one will work. I think this is... let's see if I have another smaller bead. Nah, that's not... You probably said that too, huh? No, darling, now you're pushing it. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm also going to show you how to do, to wrap the mosaic small pieces of glass. I'll show you that in a different video. So let's see, maybe I don't want to use a different, let's try this, maybe with another coconut shell. See if it makes it look too full. You know what? I like that. And I would wear this. I would wear this. And I guarantee you, once I put it on a table and put it out to sell, it'll be gone just like that. Anytime, wherever I go and I set up, you know, a lot of people like to get places early. So the early birds will always get the better pieces from me. And I'm always amazed by the fact that the piece that I didn't like or really didn't like too much, others absolutely love. So that's your chunky pendant. So what I'm going to do with this piece, is there something I could put across here? I might be able to put one more something right here. And I didn't separate my beads, so what I know to do next time, and remember this is my first video, so the next time what I'll do is have everything, I'll have everything kind of set out. So as I go, I don't have to, and see, it's just a matter of placing things and seeing how it looks. It's like, how does it look to you? Because I guarantee you, what is pretty to you and what you like, someone else is going to like it as well. So this would be the perfect, oh yeah, let's see. This is a pretty bead. Let's see if this one will work. And see, that ties in perfectly. And what I can do is I'll take this and I could actually, I don't like to take it apart where you see too much wire. So I can take it under here and I can thread it. And I can take this part and bend it. And then it gives you that. So then I'll take this part and I'll thread it back under here. So we'll take it and we'll cut some of it off. And then I'll tuck it. So I'll wrap it under. Try to get it nice and snug. Right? So that takes it under. You have to pull it over. And sometimes it's a struggle to get it, but you want to make sure you get it and get it tucked in. Make sure that sharp part is out of the way. And see, to me, this is already beautiful. This is already nice. And then once we create the necklace part for it, This is already beautiful. And then what I tried to do was not put too much wire on the back. Less wire on the back and then more with the threading. So it gives it that threaded, kind of chunky look. And remember, it's not heavy. It doesn't, and then there's no sticky parts. So that's what you want to always make sure there's nothing that would stick your customer. So when they buy, there's nothing that's scratching or sticky or anything. So that's the pendant. Pretty. I like that. So now what we'll do is we'll create the necklace for it. And what I generally do for the necklace, and I think what I'll do is use some wood beads, these wood beads right here. And then I might even use a couple of these beads. So let's see. And remember, I never measure my wire. So this is about enough right here too to create what I want to do. So I go ahead and cut it. And then I usually take the wire, match it up, and then you want to stretch it, create your folded part here at the bottom, because that's where your pendant is going to go. And then for me, I take the pendant and I'll hang it from the wire. And that hangs already from the wire. You can see already how pretty that's going to be. And I'm almost tempted to put it on a gold link chain. But I'll show you how to do the beading. So we do that. And I try to find, let's try to straighten this out. And I try to find pieces that I think will, it's almost like putting together an outfit. What patterns will match with the patterns? Let's say your pants are one pattern, your shirt is another pattern. So what patterns match to create this absolutely gorgeous outfit? I don't like that one. So let's try, see if I got another one of these. And I'll put this in. So for me doing this first video, I think I positioned it in the right place, but if I didn't, I'll know the next time how I want to arrange the camera. So we'll use another one of these beads. And the reason why I use another one of these, this bead, because it matches with this bead here. So you can already see what that might look like once I'm done. And you know what, I can sit for hours making jewelry. And I do literally sit for hours making jewelry. So if you can see already, nice, right? And then guess what? When I finish this piece, I'm gonna offer this piece up for free. So this piece that I made today, I'm gonna give it to one of the lucky people who subscribes to the channel, who also likes the video and then shares the video. And then all you would have to do is, I'll let you know, or let whoever know in a couple of weeks who the winner is. So what I'll do is I'll use a couple of, I think I like this bead here. So we'll try this one and we'll do this one. And see, when you look at it, you see what I mean when I say patterns? So when you try to match patterns, what pattern matches the best to where it's not a weird looking or funny looking, but it absolutely just like you look at it and be like, oh my, that is beautiful. I love it. So you can kind of see already what it's going to look like. So then I'll begin to use some of these lighter beads. So we'll go ahead and put a few of these, maybe about 6 of them. So that's 4, 2. I hope you can see this whole video, what I'm doing. If not, again, I plan to do another one. So we'll do this. We'll have, and then when you look at that, you can see how these beads match with the coconut shell, right? How beautiful is that already? How beautiful is that already? So we'll do about maybe 6 of these. No, maybe 4. We'll do 4 of these. And then I'll use, I like that. That's really pretty. Then I'll use, let's try one of these. Let's see if that'll match well with it. And then once you're putting it together, if it doesn't look like what you want it to look like, that's gorgeous. And see, I would wear this with, I wear a lot of black, and I have a lot of bright colors. So if I wear a color, I like to wear the entire color. So it'll be a yellow blouse with a yellow skirt, or a yellow dress, and everything matches with the yellow, so that I can wear one of the necklaces or one of the sets to where it makes the whole outfit just pop. So we'll do that, and then we'll put more of these beads. That's generally about the length I do it. And it's amazing too, because there are a lot of women that are smaller, the thinner women, they like these too. And I always try to make the necklace part longer, or long enough for fuller size women. And it's amazing because they'll try it on and it'll fit perfectly. They'll be like, oh my God, thank you so much. It's almost like a choker, but a nice loose choker. So they'll be absolutely just taken away. This is gorgeous. This is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so that's, I want to make sure all that's snug. And then what I generally do is I'll take one side and I'll fold it, and I'll begin to wrap. And I'll wrap. So because that part is nice and snug, I'll begin to wrap this side. And then I'll wrap. And that's another thing I like about the wire. You can manipulate it very easy. It's hard to do when you're doing it with that that cord. You have more control over the wire. And that's normally how I do this. And we'll finish wrapping. And I generally close it out with a clasp. And I'll do that, but I'm gonna do that off of the camera. So then that way you'll, at the end, I'll put pictures up where you can see. So you have this, and we'll finish wrapping it. And I'll pull it up a little bit just to make it loose, so it's not as tight. And then we'll finish wrapping, and be sure to remember, you know, you don't want any edges out, anything that's going to poke or stick. So I generally will tuck it under at the very bottom. Then that way no stuck. And it's neatly tucked. So we'll fold it under. And that's done. And you can see I like to leave these like this, but I'm not going to do that just because I'm on camera with you all. But I like to leave these pieces like this, and I normally will have jump rings, and I'll put the jump rings here, and then I'll put a nice big clasp. So this is the finished product, almost. So this gives you an idea about what it's going to look like. I'm going to show you, give you an idea of what it's going to look like when it's, oops. Try to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. And then there you go. That's the chunky agate slice beaded necklace. And I'll finish with the jump rings and the lobster clasp after I get off camera. But it's really that simple, agate slice. And just remember, you want to thread, and when you thread, you want to make sure there's more thread, the wire in the front than it is the back. And they may look like they're heavy, but they're not. They're very lightweight, very easy to wear. They lay comfortably on your chest. That's why you want to make sure there's no sticky parts anywhere to where they'll stick someone. And then when it comes to the beading, you just want to kind of blend beads, marry them well. And I try to make practice to purchase beads that have patterns on them, you know, like some type of little decoration. I don't really like the solid beads because they don't do a whole lot, but I will buy them just as fillers, you know, just kind of fill in so that I use less of my beads that have designs on them. But this is it. How cool is that?